Okay, folks, our sweet potato experiment this year is continuing. Back here on the front porch, and these are the sweet potatoes that I started, a couple months ago as slips. And honestly, I could have planted them probably the beginning of September because they started budding like 8 days later after I planted the sweet potatoes outside. But what I'm going to do with these is I have this pot here that I just transplanted out a blueberry bush. No, blackberry bush. It was a blackberry bush that we were gifted in this one. Took that out, got that planted, and I've got some of the dirt that I dug for that in here as well. I've got a bag from Dirtcraft Organics here. It's a local company here in Madison County, North Carolina. They're actually in Marshall, North Carolina. So I'm going to take the sweet potatoes and this dirt, put it in here, leave it here on the front porch, and see what happens. I'm also going to get probably like a lid from a tote, put it under this bucket because it has holes in it. So I'm going to kind of work it just like we work our microgreen trays that we have, where it's the tray that has holes in it with the watering tray underneath. So we'll take these, let's see what happens. Some of that, mix that in. Now I'm just going to take this entire tray kind of as is, because these potatoes are rooted in here. So they're just going to kind of go in as such. I did let it dry so I could do that. But again, I don't even know if I'm deep enough to grow potatoes in. I don't know. I'm going to add this on top. I can go deeper. This is exciting. Go up a little higher. This is better than I thought. All right. So my sweet potatoes are in. Everything's buried. And like I said, I'll get a tote tray, put that underneath for watering purposes out here on the front porch. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here on the front porch because this, even though it's north facing, it generally stays quite warm out here. And you know, if they've been thriving out here to begin with, let's just continue to see what happens. So today we're actually kind of doing things the right way. It's almost 2 in the afternoon. We've already moved the goats, moved the ewes, moved the rams. It's 85 degrees outside. We're expecting some rain a little later today. So we got a majority of the outside stuff done, but it's hot right now, so we're inside. Mondays is usually a big day for our eggs. We usually try to get most of them packed up, you know, that we got over the weekend and everything. So when Amy goes to town later on, she could take to the different stores. Me, I've got a tea going that we're back into Jun season. So this is going to be tea for our Jun. You know, and as I was mentioning before, let me turn this light on. That'll help. Nope. So these are the labels that Amy made. I don't know if you could really see that. There you go. But so it gives a description of what the eggs are, who we are, and that's that QR code that she made. So if somebody takes a picture of that when they have our eggs from the store, it'll take them right to our YouTube channel. So I think that was a great addition to our labels. Right now she's just packing up everything that's clean, because everything that goes into the stores, we do make sure they're clean, because people don't want to buy dirty eggs. So we'll pack the clean ones, and then since a lot of the stores that we sell into, they put them in their coolers, we wash them, so they need to be refrigerated anyways after that. So it's not a huge deal if we wash them. People are still getting fresh farm-raised eggs. Shiny head. Funs. Wait.
And I'm glowing over here.
Yeah, sorry.
There, that's better. Let's try it again. And go.
Take 2. So we're done packing and washing eggs. We ended up with 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 dozen unwashed, and another 9 that we washed. So that's 20 dozen eggs, right?
Yeah.
So 20 dozen that we're selling, plus another 2, maybe 3 dozen.
No, more like 5.
5 dozen that we won't sell, or they're cracked. So Amy's going to make some ice cream. She's going to make a double batch of ice cream, get that going. Plus we still have some that are sitting that, not quite a full carton yet. But that's the egg count for today, and we're just going to keep on putzing through the day.
So like Ken was saying earlier, we're using a lot of these eggs for our own use, whether they're too small or too dirty or misshapen or cracked. There's probably about 5 dozen of them here, and they'll definitely last us all week. So I'm making 2 batches of ice cream. I tried doing this before just by doubling the batch in one pot, and it doesn't work. I'm not sure why, but small batches seem to be the way to go. So I just gotta continue stirring until it comes up to a boil. But each one is 12 egg yolks, and then I'll take the whites, and then we'll have those for breakfast usually the next day. Half a cup of cocoa powder, 1 cup of sugar, dash of salt, a quart of the milk that we got from milking our sheep. That's what the recipe is. Bring it up to a boil, and then you strain it, and then you put it in the fridge to get it cooled off, and then put it in your ice cream maker. So with as many yolks as that it has in it, it's actually more like a custard than it is an ice cream, and we really like it. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna hard boil some of these eggs. I might give some away as well. But yeah, that's our Egg Monday. All right, so now I'm gonna just strain this. been done milking for about a month, so I just had to pull out one of our frozen quarts and thawed it out. Sheep milk freezes beautifully and thaws nicely, so we have a freezer full of this that'll last us through the winter. So I don't know if you can see, but it catches like all those little egg white pieces. And I need another bowl. That one. And the recipe calls for 12 eggs, but when we have this many, I actually add about 13. Sometimes 14 if the eggs are really small. There we have it. Now these will go in the fridge, and I will probably make a batch of ice cream later in the night.
So now we're going to continue with our Jun. First thing I'm going to do is take the SCOBY out of here. I got to get a spoon. Okay. Now I want to continue making my Jun about a week ago, but when I checked the SCOBY inside, there was only a very thin layer on the top. But now, a week later, you can see how big the mother got, and I still have additional in here. So it tells me my SCOBY is still viable, which is a good thing because I wasn't really sure, because the jar it sat for a couple months and just what turned into a tea vinegar. So I wasn't even sure how this was going to come out. But so far it's looking good. It smells right, so I'm happy about that. Now I got to start doing my measurements. Got to do a 4-to-1, 4 tea to 1 apple juice. So we got our Jun tea. Keep that mixed so that all the goodness is spread throughout. So that's 4 of the tea to 1 of the juice. And that'll be plenty of headspace for this bottle. But with this bottle, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to split it up into these first, because some of us like to have just the tea, the fermented tea with the juice, without the carbonation. So I make those first. Normally I put the tea in, the apple juice in first. That way I know it's good and mixed, but this time I didn't. And actually, this will go nice with dinner tonight because Amy's going to be making some of our pork that we grew here. That was Elwood, and going to be making a Chinese dish, and I think this will go great with it. So I think I timed that pretty good. I have these 2 bottles filled in the fridge to go to have something to sip on with dinner. There we go. All right. Them to the side. You could actually see here where we marked our jar. The date, that was on 9/5. So, oops. Forgetting myself here. It's been a couple months since I made John, so my motor skills are a little bit off. There we go. Oh. Okay, folks, I got a question for you. What is your favorite large... Oh, that glare is horrible. What is your favorite large measuring cup for pouring? Because we had an older Pyrex 4-cup, and the spout on it was fantastic. You know, it poured really well, but that got broke, and we bought another one. And there are some times where it just does not pour without making a mess, no matter how hard I try. So if you have a favorite, leave it in the comments below. And if it pours well, because that bothers me. Now, got my jar here. I'm going to get my tea that's been steeping and strain that. And that steamy sound you hear is Amy hard boiling eggs. You saw it earlier. So, doing the 5-5-5 method. So she's got that going in the background. Now I do try to do this while it's still a little bit warm, but not hot. Warm to help the honey mix in and come off my measuring cup, but not hot where it's going to kill anything, all the goodness of the honey. There we go. Now we add water. So now we got tea with honey. It's got some starter liquid in it. Now we have to get our SCOBY from our bowl that we took out earlier. I'm going to put them all in because I do not have anything or anywhere to put a spare, so we're just going to do this. And look at that. That's a nice one right there. They may sink to the bottom at first, but over time they will come back up to the top. My jar is a little more full than I normally do it, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. And last but not least, I'm going to take my towel, cover it, band it so nothing gets in, and change the date. I think we're dry. 9/23. And now we put it on a shelf. Now I've got to get everything out of the sink. Get rid of this, excuse me. Just trying to move everything out of the way because now Amy's here.
No, it needs to sit on ice for a minute.
Just taking the eggs and putting them on ice. Yeah, that was kind of loud. Sorry, I was straining to close the lid. So now these will sit for 2 weeks, unless something happens before then.
Now that I'm done with the Instapot for the eggs, I'm gonna put some dinner in there. This is pork from one of our pigs that we harvested back in February. And I have 2 jars left of that plum jam that I made that did not set up, but it works really good in this. So I'll add this plus a bunch of other spices, and we're gonna have kind of like a pork. It'll be pork and rice, Asian style for dinner.
Okay, folks, we're going to wrap this video up here. That's a lot in one video for one day. So it's raining outside now. I couldn't get the mowing done that I wanted to do, but that's okay. Maybe the sun will come out tomorrow and I'll take care of it tomorrow. If you're wondering what this is, it's Amy's fire cider. It's got a long way to go, so that's going to be sitting out for a while. But y'all take care now.